Welcome to First Baptist Orlando. I'm Liz Butler, bringing you this week's Need to Know. We are so glad you are joining us today for our time to remember all God has done in this room. Looking over the walls, it's overwhelmingly obvious our God is mighty and His love for us is never failing. Over and over again, you can read the stories of how God shows up at just the right moment, how He comforts, supports, and encourages. If you have been here with us for a while, you've probably experienced many of these special moments right in this room. Let's take a look back today and remember all that has happened here, celebrate, and give thanks. We want to invite you to remember your time here by taking a hymnal with you. Each family is invited to take one hymnal. We need for you to leave the Bible still in place though. We will collect those and place them in the different service venues so they are ready to be used next weekend. Speaking of next weekend, let's take a quick moment to think about the wheres and whens. The Saturday night service and life groups remain at the same times of 5:15 for life groups, 6:30 for the service. This will continue to be a more contemporary service and will meet in Faith Hall. On Sunday mornings, we have 3 times for services and life groups. The first service time is 8:30 and all 3 venues are open. Faith Hall is the main venue for the traditional service, with Henry Chapel being open as an overflow location. The Student Center will be open for a more contemporary musical style, but showing Pastor David live from Faith Hall for the message. At 10:15, again, all 3 venues are open and all 3 will have a more contemporary musical style. Then at 11:55, there's another opportunity to worship in Faith Hall with the more contemporary musical style. Faith Hall will certainly be a busy hub of activities, serving as the central location for capturing video to feed into the Student Center and Henry Chapel. I want to point out parking options for Faith Hall are the lots next to the building, as well as the First Academy Lower School lot. We'll have entrances open in the front and back of Faith Hall to make it easily accessible to you. You can also park over by Welcome Center B and take the sidewalk by the portables over to Faith Hall. Life groups will meet at all 3 of these service times, and I'd like to encourage you to get involved in a life group if you aren't already in one. This year our focus is love your neighbor, and we want to take this time during All Out to be intentional, to develop real Christ-centered relationships with those we share our faith with here at First Orlando. Then the second half of the year, we'll want to take Love Your Neighbor to Central Florida. It's going to be an exciting year. It was less than a year ago that God spoke vision into Pastor David's heart, and we began the all-in journey. And God is continuing to work in a mighty way through you, our First Orlando family. As part of the staff here, it's an absolute privilege to see God at work in so many of your lives. It might be a little crazy these next couple of weeks as we learn where to park, where to go, but just remember that we're a team together, learning together, and working together to make His name famous. That was your This Week's Need to Know. We are so glad you're here with us today.